And we kick off Friday Night SmackDown tonight with a match for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Strowman with a big opportunity tonight to knock off Gunther and win his second Intercontinental Championship. Wade, Braun is as focused as I've ever seen him.
Yeah, absolutely. And this particular matchup goes back a couple of months. It goes all the way back to the SmackDown World Cup, where Imperium caused Strowman's elimination to the eventual winner, Ricochet. Imperium clearly wanted Braun out of the way because the winner got an opportunity at Gunther's championship. Well, now Braun himself gets that opportunity.
Braun Strowman, home field advantage here tonight, lives about an hour and a half from Green Bay, Wisconsin. So excited to have this match on his home turf. And he is flanked by his Imperium stablemates. On Gunther's right, Giovanni Vinci. On his left, Ludwig Kaiser. Gunther, who has held the Intercontinental Championship since June 10th for 217 days. And the question tonight going into this matchup is, will Braun Strowman's right shoulder be a factor? I want to take you back to 2 weeks ago here on Friday Night SmackDown. Braun Strowman sent into the barricade by Gunther, and that is where the Intercontinental Champion, Wade, would focus the attack on the shoulder of the monster of all monsters.
And this, to me, was so smart of Gunther and Imperium. This collision between these two monsters was inevitable for a long time. Why not stack the deck in your favor? Braun Strowman this past week on media duties stating that during that incident, his shoulder was damn near dislocated. He's clear for competition, however.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the Intercontinental Championship! Introducing the challenger, weighing in at 335 pounds, Braun Strowman! And his opponent, representing Imperium from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 250 pounds, he is the Intercontinental Champion, Gunther!
And as Gunther prepares for his title defense, I would like to take a moment to talk about the wrestling boots that Braun Strowman is wearing tonight, created with the Green Bay Packers in honor of 8-year-old Jackson Sparks. Jackson died in the Waukesha, Wisconsin Christmas parade attack back in 2021. There are a look at the boots. Jordan was a huge Braun Strowman fan. Those boots will be auctioned off to help raise money for the victims of that tragedy. So here we go, Wade. Strowman, Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship.
Let's point out that Gunther sent Kaiser and Vinci to the back moments ago. Apparently wants to prove a point that he needs no help in defeating the monster.
Gunther has had a very solid Intercontinental Championship reign, to say the least.
Come on, it has been spectacular. He's mown down everybody in his path, with the one exception being the monster of all monsters, Braun Strowman.
And a very cautious start here tonight for the champion. Is Gunther concerned about Braun Strowman? We've seen him try to stay away from the monster among monsters the last few weeks.
Well, Gunther's style has always been to physically dominate all opponents, overpower them, bully smaller superstars. Tonight, though, Gunther is completely out of his depth, competing against the biggest and strongest in WWE. But fear? Absolutely not.
And again,
no fear whatsoever.
Gunther goes right for the injured right arm and shoulder of Braun Strowman. That will be the strategy for the champion tonight. Strowman, oh my goodness. And Strowman taking the fight right outside the ring to the Intercontinental Champion. However, remember, Gunther has the champion's advantage. He will only lose the title if Strowman pins or submits him. Countouts, disqualifications go the champion's way.
Braun has come out of the blocks hot in this one, perhaps aware that chances like this do not come around often.
And Strowman understanding. And now Braun Strowman going to put the pressure on early. The monster of all monsters.
There's a knee.
Strowman expressed on the tracks, and Gunther set over the side of the announce table. Strowman in control with the Intercontinental title on the line. And this matchup for the Intercontinental Championship between the champion Gunther and the challenger Braun Strowman has been fought both outside the ring and inside the ring during the commercial break. Both men doing a good job breaking the count from official Jessica Carr, because Strowman understands he has to pin or submit the champ Wade in order to win the title.
Well, this ring ain't big enough to hold these two beasts in there, but right now Gunther going straight back for that previously injured shoulder of Braun Strowman. We mentioned it earlier. This was the target 2 weeks ago.
And Wade, you got to give Gunther credit. He realized that somewhere he was going to have to face Strowman for the championship. So he struck first, taking out the shoulder a couple of weeks ago, and now tonight, Strowman with a target on the arm.
Well, Gunther hasn't wanted to engage Braun at all until recently, because he's smart enough to realize that his own skill set doesn't mesh well with that of Braun's. Styles make fights. Why not avoid a bad matchup if you can? And Braun's a bad matchup for anyone.
Shot by the champion, and that'll bring Strowman to his knees in the favor of the champion Gunther, because Braun goes 6'8", 335. Gunther's a huge man as well, 6'4", 250.
Talking about all the plaudits of Gunther, none is greater than his high in-ring IQ, and he's displaying that for us all right now, chopping down that monster and targeting the one weakness on that body.
And you take the arm out, Wade, you really take a lot of the power game away from Strowman.
Well, this is really the strength of Strowman versus the skills of Gunther. Gunther said it himself recently. Braun is the strongest man in WWE, but I am going to expose him as an overgrown meathead with no skills whatsoever.
How good is the ring general Gunther? Well, back in 2020, CBS said he had the match of the year. ESPN said he had the match of 2022, the Clash at the Castle against Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. That's how good Gunther is inside the ring.
Well, if you've never seen Gunther before, it takes you one match to understand that this guy is generationally good. Proves it week in, week out.
And when is the last time you've seen the monster among monsters in this type of predicament? And again to the injured arm. Cover now by the champion. Hook of the leg, and Strowman still able to kick it one.
How much has this matchup swung since the beginning, where Gunther looked hesitant, he was backing away, he was getting outmaneuvered by Braun. It's done a complete 180, and now we're back to normal service with Gunther in complete control.
And Wade, you know, the shoulder had to be bothering Braun coming into this matchup. You made mention that during a lot of media appearances over the past week talking about this matchup, Strowman did say that the injured shoulder was not at 100%. And trying again, trying to power Gunther up, and the shoulder gave out. Strowman not able to do it, and that's going to be a problem now for the challenger.
Strowman's biggest strength is his literal strength, and it's disappearing before our eyes. Such is the job that Gunther has done.
Great technical prowess for the Intercontinental Champion. However, as we've learned, he can brawl with the best of them as well.
There's nothing that Gunther can't do. The man is just a no-frills dark destroyer.
Oh, and what a chop. And right back to the shoulder again. I mean, you're talking about a man in Strowman who's been a Universal Champion, Wade, an Intercontinental Champion. He won the greatest Royal Rumble back in 2018. In fact, we're in Royal Rumble season. Braun Strowman is tied with Brock Lesnar for the most eliminations ever in one match of the Rumble. That 13. That is the man that Gunther is defending his Intercontinental Championship again here tonight. And Strowman trying to fight back. And another chop by the champion. And that big clothesline will take the champ down, and looking to rally now is Strowman.
A Louisville slugger to the jaw did Gunther. Now that big meat tank of a man is taking control.
Into the corner hard. Back body drop, landing on his knee. Gunther landed on his knee. Meanwhile, look at this. Imperium, who were sent to the back earlier on by Gunther. Vinci and Kaiser attacking Strowman.
Getting wiped out in the process.
But you have to imagine that Gunther picked the spot, feigned an injury, drawing the official, and allowing Imperium to attack. But Strowman with a monstrous slam! Opportunity now for the challenger. Into the cover. Is it enough? Gunther up 2, kicks out. Our Intercontinental Championship match continues. The Intercontinental Champion, Gunther, has been putting on a master class tonight as he defends the championship against the monster of all monsters, Braun Strowman. Wade continuing to work on the previously injured shoulder and arm of Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman trying his best to power out of there, but that's a 250-pound Austrian attached to a severely weakened arm of Braun Strowman.
And look at the power now of Strowman. He's got the champion up, and down goes Gunther.
Lightweight, baby! How does he continue to pull this off with that damaged shoulder?
And Strowman now buys himself some time to try to regroup as you look at the incredible strength of the monster.
Absolutely wild to do that at the best of times, but with the amount of damage sustained by that left shoulder already, as you see Strowman desperately trying to shake some feeling back into that limb.
Let's go Strowman chants here tonight in Green Bay. Mentioned earlier, Strowman makes his home about 90 minutes from here. Chops from Gunther. Big chop from Strowman. Gunther waist lock on Strowman, who delivers an elbow to the face. Oh, big boot from the champion.
Turning into a complete slugfest at this point.
Strowman with a spine buster into the cover. Is it enough to win the title? Gunther's got to take a 2.5.
What a matchup we are getting here, Cole. The deeper this one goes, though, for me, the more it favors Gunther. Completely unsurpassed conditioning, but with blows like this raining down on him from the monster, how much has he got left in the tank?
Strowman back to his feet, realizes this could be his opportunity. Gunther was stunned by the spine buster. The challenger was looking for the monster bomb, and Gunther went right back to work on the injured shoulder. Oh! Strowman still on his feet. Runs into a clothesline. Does the champion.
Braun can barely stand up at this point, though. On jelly legs, and Gunther, if he can get a string of offense here, it could be over.
Shoulder first to the turnbuckle. Oh, and there's the drop kick driving Strowman into the corner. A wicked clothesline. Cover by the champion to retain. Hook to the leg on Braun, who kicks it too.
Such a powerful whack of that clothesline. That could have split the diaphragm of Braun Strowman, but now we're going up top.
With a splash by Gunther. Cover on the challenger for the win. Strowman kicks out again. What an effort by Braun Strowman.
Frustration etched all over the face of Gunther. He knows he could have beaten any other member of the roster 5 times at this point.
The champion again, headed up to the top rope. Braun Strowman's gonna meet him there. And again, big right hand by the challenger.
That is a lot of humanity balanced on those ropes, Cole.
Yeah, but look at Gunther back to the bad arm. Working on the bad arm again of Strowman.
Always thinking, always with a trick up his sleeve.
Oh! Now Gunther with a 6'8" Strowman up high. Cover Another effort by both of these superstars here tonight, but in the end, the Intercontinental Champion retains the title.
Unbelievable performance from both men. You have to question, what on earth is it going to take to eventually pry that championship from the hands of Gunther?